Abraham decided to put God first in his life. What can we learn from his story today that will help us put God first in our own lives? Coming from a wealthy tribe in Tanzania, Abraham was a successful and prosperous man. His tribe, the Maasai people, were known for their cattle. There's nothing more precious to the Maasai than their cattle. When a bull dies in their tribe, it's common to mourn for this loss louder and longer than the loss of a family member. After all, a bull could be worth more than $1,000 US. Now, one day, Abraham heard teachings about Jesus while listening to Adventist World Radio. As he learned more, he decided to put God first in his life. All seemed fine at this point, but then he learned about the tithe. For him, this meant that he would have to give 100 cows to the Lord. His neighbors and friends could not understand or even imagine what was going through his mind. They thought Abraham had gone mad. However, against the common sense in his tribe, Abraham understood the real meaning of tithing and surrendered all to God. Immediately after he returned the tithe of 100 cows, something unimaginable happened to his cattle. His cows started giving birth to twins. Now, cows usually give birth to only one calf at a time, but suddenly Abraham's cows were delivering 2 calves at the same time. Abraham had given away 100 cows, and now he had more cows than before. Everyone was shocked. His neighbors wanted to talk to Abraham's pastor to tell him they wanted to give a tithe. His friends were amazed and wanted to have their own experience with the act of tithing. Abraham was filled with gratitude for the way that God had blessed him. After that, he decided not to return to the Lord just one tithe, but a tithe and an additional 10%. His pastor visited him. He took the visitor to the field and began to count his cattle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When he reached the 10th cow, he instructed a helper to put a tag on its ear so the cow would be set aside for tithe. That one is for the Lord. Then he counted the 11th cow and told his helper to tag its ear too. This would be an additional 10%, he affirmed. And then he started counting from 1 again. God requires the tithe and offerings from those who accept Him as Lord and Savior. Each has a different purpose and should be applied differently. So any percentage that exceeds the tithe should be given as promise, which is a regular and systematic offering. Abraham put God first despite the opinions of his friends and neighbors. His courage inspires us today. Jesus gave up everything to redeem us, and His love compels us to put His kingdom first in our own lives. As we return the tithe and our promise offering, we are challenged to put God first.